Welcome to Middle School Band Auditions Set 2, where I will approach in this video the different material to audition for the Middle School All-District Band. I will provide tips, tricks, and recordings, as well as visuals to be able to complete your auditions. Scales. The most important thing when reading your major scales is to check for your flats and sharps at the beginning at your key signature. When you have those flats and sharps at the beginning of your key signature, those apply to every note throughout the most important thing when looking at scales is to look at the key signature at the beginning, whether it has sharps, flats, or nothing. Those sharps and flats apply to a certain letter on the staff. That letter is applied to every letter that is located on the staff. So, for example, if it is on a B flat, that means all B flats throughout the entire piece are flat, unless otherwise marked by a natural sign. That means if it is a low B flat or a high B flat, they are both B flat. On your major scales, you will have listed in the front a flats or sharps, or no flats or sharps. Please pay attention to those as you practice. This next scale is called the chromatic scale. This is having you play every note possible on your instrument. They give you a starting note to start and an ending note. When you go from the starting note, it is the lowest note. You are going to play every note in between until you get to the highest point. Find out where the highest point is your chromatic scale and maybe put a line in or a star to mark its significance. Once you reach the highest point, you will then go backwards, playing every single note back to the beginning. This is Audition Material Section A. The first thing to do is to always look at the key signature. How many sharps, flats, or no sharps and flats do you have? The next thing to look at is your dynamics. Do you play soft, do you play loud, or a combination of in between? The next part is to look at your tempo. How fast or slow do you go? When you are first practicing this, please do not play at tempo. Please start much slower and work your way up to tempo. For song number A, there are a lot of articulations, slur versus tongue. The line above the two notes connects the two, which means you're going to slur them, much like tu or ta. If you see the notes that have the dots over them, they are staccato, and they should be separated. Da, da. There should be a slight little space in between. As you are looking at section A, if you play it, you notice that we have a slur and then a tongue. Slur two, tongue two, as we like to commonly say. It will sound like this: tu, 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 or ta, ta, ta. Notice the difference between those four notes, the connection versus the separation. The majority of section A has this repeated idea with the slur two, tongue two. It also does the reverse, where you tongue two versus slur two. Ta, 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 or tu, tu, tu. The last few measures include an entire slur. Please note that every time that you start a slur where the note starts, you need to articulate and use your tongue. So the second to last measure would go ta, ta, and so forth.
A. Slow. A.
Audition Material Section B. Section B has a new key signature. Please note the sharps, the flats, or the no sharps or flats sign. And note that it applies to the entire song. In B, we have a new time signature, 3/4. This will mean that you will have 3 beats per measure versus the traditional 4 beats per measure. Instead of counting to 1, 2, 3, 4, this measure will now go 1, 2, 3, 1, and 3. Note that Section B also has a much slower tempo. This allows you to focus more on the dynamics that are located underneath this song. Please pay close attention to the mezzo forte, the crescendos to forte, vice versa, and then the decrescendos to get down to piano. This piece will start medium loud, grow to loud, go back to medium loud, and slowly get softer as it goes through. Again, reminder that loud still means pretty. Also applying to this song is our articulations. These are all slurs. Note that you need to articulate every time that the slur starts. This one has it where it is located at the first note of each measure. So you will articulate all the first notes of each measure and only those notes. 2, 2, and so forth.
B.
Audition Material Section C. Again, the first thing to do when approaching a piece is to check the key signature, sharps, flats, or naturals. Note the other significant part is the key or the time signature. This one is situated in 6/8. This focuses more on connected 3 sets of notes versus the traditional 2 or 1. We will focus more on that in a later time. The tempo of this piece is set at 1/12. Again, start practicing this piece at a slower tempo and slowly work your way up. There are also dynamics located in this piece, starting at a mezzo piano, which is medium soft, as it crescendos, decrescendos, crescendos, decrescendos, all the way to mezzo forte and crescendos to forte. When counting in 6/8, you can count this as triplets, triplet, 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 or you can count this in 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In the case of this first measure, we have a quarter note. If we are going to count in triplets, it's going to be take up tri and pull, where we are going to play on tri and let, like triplet, triplet. Or if we were to count this in 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. I'm going to go ahead and count the measures of these songs. 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 4. Also note that in this song we also have some sharps, flats, or accidentals that are not located in the key signature. I like to circle or star or somehow mark on my music that those are significant. Those accidentals only apply to that measure. For example, if you have a F sharp in a measure, that F sharp only applies to that measure. If you have F again in the next measure, it goes back to the regular F. This accidental may occur more than once. Again, please mark your accidentals, either circle or star or other ways to mark it to be significant. C, slow. C. Audition Material, Section D. Again, the note to the first part of our music is to check the key signature, sharps, flats, or accidentals. If this is an unusual sharp, flat, or accidental that you are unused to, go ahead and mark throughout your music what that music note would look like going forward. That way you don't forget. We are back into 4/4 time, so we go back to counting 1, 2, 3, 4 as our traditional time of counting. The tempo of this is 108. Again, practice this at a slower speed and slowly work your way up to 108. The dynamics underneath have a forte, a piano, and a forte. Note that there's also a section that says crescendo poco a poco. Poco a poco means little by little. Crescendo means to slowly get louder. So that section right there means to crescendo a little by little. Slowly get louder and louder until you end up at forte at the end of the piece. This piece also has accidentals. Reminder that accidentals only apply to the measure they are located in. If you have a C sharp, that only applies for that measure if you have another C sharp in there. The next measure, however, goes back to a regular C. There are also articulations in Section D that are outside the normal of our slur to or tongue to, or all slur. Note every time that you start a slur, make sure you articulate. To count this rhythm also includes the use of eighth notes and 16th notes. Also located in Section D is the use of a triplet. This is a 3 notes connected with a number 3 located underneath. For the purpose of this piece, we are going to count that part as triplet. I am now going to count Section D. 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and triplet 2 and 1 and a 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3. If you need to, go ahead and mark your piece now. You may also check the screen in front of you, as I have also provided the counts for you on the screen. D.